Half truths. This is a true story, although the characters have been changed to maintain anonymity. This is from the book Handling Premarital Sex by Dr. and Mrs. Olugbenga Ogidon in conjunction with the Life Reading Club Author Collaboration Initiative. Half Truths. So meet Wura. She's a first year student and she has two friends, Maggie and Titi. They are the main characters in our story today. So Wura had just completed her first term examination in the high school and was home for the holidays. As she went back memory lane, she remembered her two friends, Maggie and Titi, how they laughed her to scorn when they got to know she was a virgin. They called her names. They said a lot of things to ridicule Wura. And you see, poor Wura, she felt embarrassed and humiliated. They also told her there was actually no big deal in losing one's virginity and related to her how enjoyable the sexual experience could be. Of course, Wura vowed no longer to associate with these friends. However, now that she's alone, she could not stop pondering in her mind about the discussion. And there are so many things she's pondering here. First is the laughter, the abuses that her so called friends put on her. As you know, young people tend to be influenced a lot by what their peers think about them, what they said about them, even going back 5, 10, 15 years. They do not forget. She also was pondering the enjoyment they spoke about and how her two friends related their own sexual experiences with all forms of excitement. 2 months later, again, it takes some time. 2 months later, Wura was already in a relationship with Mike. And Mike is a guy in the final year class who lives in the neighborhood. Remember, Wura is home on holidays, a time when you have a lot of free time to yourself, and there is this guy called Mike who lives in the neighborhood and who is older and is in final year. Well, long story short, they had sex, and their first contact resulted into a pregnancy. Her two friends had been having sex but never got into trouble. They seemed to be smarter. In her first attempt, she misfired. She was given incomplete information. Sex is enjoyable, they said, but they did not tell her the full story. They did not tell her she could get in trouble. Have you ever heard the saying that a half truth is actually a lie? This is the story, and we would like you to read chapter 3 of the textbook and we'll begin to discuss these questions that have been provided in the handout. Prepare to discuss with your peers and as honestly as possible fill the survey that was sent out so that we understand what are the most common myths about premarital sex that members may have. Right, thank you so much and see you soon.